Okay, so get this right. This tech showdown we're diving into, it's basically a spy thriller, seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, picture OpenAI, the folks behind ChatGPT,
Mm.
they're throwing some major shade at DeepSeek.
DeepSeek?
This Chinese AI lab, they've been, like, really climbing the ranks, but we're talking accusations, right? Security risks, whispers of government ties, even a proposed ban. Can you believe that?
Wow.
So think of us as your AI detectives today, right?
Yeah.
We're going to break down these claims, look at the evidence, see if we can sort out what's real and what's not.
It's almost like those classic Cold War espionage stories.
Oh, totally.
You've got two like huge players, right?
Right.
And they're each in their own like sphere of influence. But the battleground now, AI.
Okay, so let's set the scene. I mean, you probably know OpenAI, right?
Yeah.
They're practically, a household name now with ChatGPT?
For sure.
Okay, so they submitted this proposal, right, to the Trump administration's AI action plan. And it's raising some eyebrows. They're claiming DeepSeek is, basically a puppet.
A puppet.
Yeah, of the Chinese government. A huge security risk because, Beijing could be snooping on, user data and all that. They're even suggesting, get this, banning DeepSeek models.
Real?
Yeah, in tier 1 countries, places that are, super important in the tech world.
So OpenAI is really playing hardball here.
Yeah.
They're pointing to these specific clauses in the AI action plan.
Mm-hmm.
The ones about protecting sensitive tech and infrastructure.
Right.
Their argument is basically any data,
Right.
that goes through DeepSeek's models, well, the Chinese government could get to it.
Right.
And that could mean compromising national security
Mm-hmm.
or even intellectual property, that sort of thing.
It does sound serious.
Yeah.
But is it all just smoke and mirrors,
What do you mean?
Are they just trying to squash the competition? OpenAI has a lot to lose if DeepSeek starts catching up, right?
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it?
Right.
We need to hear DeepSeek's side of the story before we, jump to conclusions.
For sure.
It's like OpenAI is making DeepSeek out to be this shadowy state-controlled thing.
Right.
But the reality might be more nuanced. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's take a closer look at DeepSeek. What do we actually know about these guys?
Well, their origin story, it's a little strange. They spun off from a hedge fund.
A hedge fund.
Yeah, called High Flyer, which doesn't exactly scream, state-controlled.
Right.
And there's no, clear, publicly documented link to the Chinese government.
But hold on, didn't DeepSeek's founder, what's his name, Liang Wenfeng?
Liang Wenfeng, yeah.
Didn't he have that big meeting with Xi Jinping recently? That's going to be a red flag, right?
Well, it definitely shows, a growing interest from the Chinese government. I mean, they're obviously seeing the potential of AI on the world stage. And, they see DeepSeek as a key player.
Yeah.
But does that automatically mean, direct control over what DeepSeek does?
Right.
That's the leap OpenAI is making. And, we need more proof to, back it up.
Okay, so OpenAI is saying these DeepSeek models are ticking time bombs.
Time bombs.
Yeah, ready to just siphon off all this user data. But is there any truth to that? I mean, people are using their tech everywhere, aren't they?
Well, here's where it gets interesting. See, we need to, separate DeepSeek's API from their open models.
Mm.
The ones anyone can use.
Okay.
OpenAI's proposal doesn't say which one they're talking about. But those open models, they're hosted by, the big guys. Microsoft, Perplexity, even Amazon.
Really?
Yeah. And they don't seem to have any, sneaky data collection built in.
So if these open models are out there being used by some of the biggest names in tech, wouldn't that, totally contradict OpenAI's whole security risk argument?
It definitely complicates things, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if OpenAI is truly worried about, data siphoning, they need to give us more concrete evidence,
Yeah.
Especially if they're going after DeepSeek's open models. It makes you wonder if their real concern is something else entirely.
Like what? You gotta tell me.
Well, remember that other accusation OpenAI made against DeepSeek?
Remind me.
They said DeepSeek was distilling knowledge from their models. Basically copying their AI homework.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. They were pretty mad about it. But how does that connect to this whole security risk thing?
Think about it. That distilling accusation, it was all about intellectual property, right?
Right.
But this new one about state control, that's a huge escalation.
Yeah.
Now OpenAI is framing DeepSeek as a national security threat. that's a whole other level.
So are they just trying to take down a competitor who's getting a little too good? Or are they really worried about the Chinese government having like a backdoor into AI? It's like a real-life tech thriller, and the stakes just keep getting higher.
It's like a high-stakes poker game where we're trying to figure out everyone's bluffs. To understand what's really going on, we need to dig deeper into OpenAI's their motivations. Are they really concerned about global data security?
Yeah.
Or are they using this to stay on top of the AI world?
Okay, let's put on our detective hats and see if we can crack this case wide open. We're going to take a closer look at OpenAI, their history, their relationship with the U.S. government, and see if we can find any clues to, their true motives. Buckle up, because this is where things get really interesting.
And, we can't forget OpenAI's own history, right?
Right.
I mean, they started as this, nonprofit all about open source AI development and all that.
Yeah.
But then they switched gears, became a for-profit company,
yeah.
raised billions,
yeah.
right, from investors like Microsoft.
Yeah, yeah.
And, well, some people say this shift, it's made them care more about, dominating the market.
Okay.
Less about those altruistic ideals they used to talk about.
So their past actions could be influencing their strategy now. It's like they're playing both sides,
Exactly.
Promoting OpenAI, but also trying to control the whole game.
And their close relationship with the U.S. government, that adds another, a whole other layer to this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, OpenAI has been super involved in shaping AI policy, right?
Yeah.
They even advised the Trump administration on that AI action plan.
Right.
So it's worth thinking about, are they using this influence to get ahead?
It's starting to feel like a real power move.
Yeah.
OpenAI yells, national security threat.
Right.
The Trump administration, maybe they slap restrictions on DeepSeek and boom, OpenAI is still on top.
I mean, it's possible, but we got to be careful about, assuming motives and all that.
Right, right.
It could be that OpenAI really does believe in these security risks they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
AI is a powerful tool.
Totally.
So it makes sense to worry about, what if it's used the wrong way?
But it's also a tool for incredible innovation and progress. What if all these accusations and restrictions end up stifling the development of AI? Wouldn't that be a loss for everyone?
Absolutely. It's a real concern.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where breakthroughs in healthcare, fighting climate change, all that gets held back because of, political games and companies fighting each other.
That's not a good picture.
Yeah.
So how do we even navigate this?
Right.
How do we make sure AI is developed responsibly, but also keep the innovation and collaboration going?
It's a tough question. There's no easy answer.
Right.
But one thing's for sure, we need to move past this winner-takes-all mindset.
Okay.
Instead of seeing AI development as this, cutthroat competition, we got to find ways to work together, share what we know.
Yeah.
But also address those real security concerns. You know what I mean?
It sounds like we need a global rule book for AI.
A rule book, yeah.
Something that lays out, clear guidelines for responsible development, data security, ethical use, all that. But it also has to encourage working together and new ideas.
That's the ideal, right?
Yeah.
But getting there, that's not going to be easy. You'd need buy-in from governments, tech companies, researchers, everyone.
Yeah.
And it has to be flexible enough to adapt,
Yeah.
Because AI development, it moves fast.
That's the big question, isn't it? Can we actually create something like that? A global framework for AI where all these different interests are balanced?
It's a massive undertaking, but I don't think it's impossible.
Oh.
I mean, there are already groups working on international standards, right?
Oh, for AI?
Yeah, for AI ethics
Yeah.
and safety. You've got the OECD, the Partnership on AI, bringing together people from different countries to talk about these challenges and, brainstorm solutions.
So there's some hope amidst all this drama, it sounds like. So what can we do as, just regular people to be part of this conversation?
First off, stay informed. Learn about AI, the good and the bad, and really think about, discuss how it should be developed and governed.
And don't just take everything you read or hear as the absolute truth.
Right.
Question the motives of the people involved, whether it's OpenAI, DeepSeek, or government.
Exactly. AI is a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it can be used in good ways or bad ways.
Yeah.
The choices we make now, they'll determine which path we take.
Okay. So we've been focusing on OpenAI and DeepSeek, but this whole situation, it raises a much bigger question. What does this rivalry tell us about, the future of AI? On a global scale, I mean.
It shows that AI isn't just a tech competition anymore. It's becoming a geopolitical battlefield.
So are we headed for an AI arms race, like countries hoarding their AI advancements, using this tech for like power and dominance?
It's a real possibility.
Yeah.
And one we should be, watching out for.
Yeah.
Because a fragmented AI landscape, it wouldn't just slow down scientific progress. It could also make existing tensions, like between countries, even worse.
But couldn't this rivalry also have, like, the opposite effect? I mean, could it actually push innovation forward?
You mean like with countries and companies racing to develop the best AI solutions?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the potential upside. Competition can definitely drive progress.
Right.
So it's possible that this rivalry, even though it's, pretty tense, it could lead to breakthroughs that actually benefit everyone.
So we're at a crossroads then. One path leads to a world where AI divides us, causes conflict. The other, well, it leads to a world where AI helps us work together, brings shared prosperity.
And which path we take, well, it all comes down to the choices we make, individually and together.
Okay, so we've talked about OpenAI's accusations, looked at DeepSeek's background, and explored what this AI rivalry might mean for the world. But before we wrap up, I want to leave our listener with something to, really think about. A final, thought-provoking question.
I'm listening.
What if this whole OpenAI DeepSeek thing, it's just a distraction?
A distraction?
Yeah, like what if there's something much bigger happening behind the scenes, something we're only just starting to see? What if there are like other players in this AI game, entities that are like off the radar, developing AI with agendas we can't even imagine?
That's a pretty scary thought. But not totally impossible, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the world of AI development is not just these big-name companies and labs.
Right.
There could be, like, secret projects going on, maybe backed by, like, powerful people, organizations with tons of resources, all operating in the shadows.
It's like it's the Wild West out there. Very few rules and a whole lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this so unsettling, right? I mean,
Right.
We're talking about a technology that could completely change the world.
Totally.
And we're just starting to understand what it all means.
And that's why it's so important to have these conversations,
Yeah.
We need to, like, shed light on all the complexities of AI development.
Right.
And really encourage people to, like, think critically about what could happen. We can't just sit back and watch. No.
Definitely not.
We need to be active in shaping the future of AI.
So what can we do? I mean, it feels like we're talking about these huge forces, right? Governments, tech giants, these shadowy organizations. What can everyday people actually do?
It all starts with, like, being aware. The more people understand AI, the better we can demand transparency and accountability from the folks developing it.
Right.
Support organizations that are pushing for responsible AI and, be part of the conversation about the ethics of all this.
It's also about, like, the choices we make as consumers, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We need to pay attention to how companies are using AI. Support the ones that, match our values.
Exactly. Our choices, together, they can really influence how AI develops.
And don't forget the power of, like, speaking up.
Oh, for sure.
Contact your representatives, share your concerns, advocate for policies that prioritize, ethical and responsible AI. This isn't just a tech issue.
Definitely not.
It's a societal issue that needs everyone to get involved.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, so we've taken a deep dive into this OpenAI DeepSeek rivalry. And I hope you're walking away with more questions than answers, because this isn't a simple story. It's not about good guys and bad guys. It's about competing interests, hidden agendas, and the potential for, massive changes to the world.
And the story's still being written. The future of AI, it's uncertain. But one thing is for sure, we all have a part to play in shaping it.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the heart of the AI revolution. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and stay engaged. The future really does depend on it.